where we are, what's happening?
Prabhuji, we understood the importance of hearing with rapt attention. Srila Prabhupada says that how a river merges into the ocean gradually. Similarly, a devotee with gradual practice of bhakti will reach to the supreme destination.
That is, the supreme destination is Krishna Prem, the
Yeah.
loving association with Krishna. Thank you so much. Excellent point. Yes, anyone else?
Yes, Prabhuji, we are hearing about Narada Muni's story, how he got the association of the of the sadhus, and then he got to serve. He got a bit of a little bit just once. He got the taste of prasadam and hearing from them, and how his life transformed.
Yeah, excellent. Importance of devotee association and importance of prasadam, how the spiritually sanctified food purifies us. We discussed in that. Thank you so much. One more.
Prabhuji, discipline is very important. It is like waking up early, sleeping early, and following the four regulative principles, minimum chanting the round in certain time, which helps us to progress in the bhakti.
Very good. Excellent. To become a disciple, that means we have to be disciplined. In terms of everything, what we hear, what we speak, what we talk with our friends, amongst the devotees as well as the colleagues outside, what are we seeing, what are we hearing, what are we speaking, everything must be disciplined because it all affects our consciousness. We have to be aware we are what we are speaking. Thank you so much. One last one.
Prabhuji, Brahman is not by birth. We should know the Vedic scriptures and the Brahma Gyan to call as a Brahman.
Yes, excellent point. The one who knows Brahman, the one who knows the spiritual, they are called Brahmanas. Aruna Mataji was trying to speak. 3 times you tried. Yes, go on.
Prabhu, how do we find the genuine devotee? So the true devotee will talk about who we are, who is God, and what is our relationship with God. So the person who is taking us towards God or who is talking about God all the time, that is the true devotee, not like Sadhu Babas and Dhongi Babas. Thank you, Prabhu.
Exactly. Very nice point. And Radhika Mataji, if you can add this point, it was not in summary. I know the
Yes,
summary
sure.
becomes long and the last 5 minutes you try to. But this is very important point because Bimal Prabhu asked the question, who is a genuine guru, who can be a genuine authorized guru? Okay.
Yes,
All
Prabhuji.
right. So let's begin with text number 32 today. Who wants to start reading? Sonal Mataji, you have
Yes, Prabhu, I have.
32.
Yeah, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay, wait. Text 32. O Brahmana Vyasadev, it is decided by the learned that the best remedial measure for removing all troubles and miseries is to dedicate one's activities to the service of the Supreme Lord Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna.
Sri Krishna. Yes. So Narad Muni is mentioning to Vyasadeva here, continuing the discussion, the dissatisfaction of Vyasadeva. Narad Muni is responding his query. And he continues the glories of the Lord and the glories of the devotional service. And here Narad Muni specifically says that the best remedial measure for removing all troubles, all miseries, is to dedicate one's activity in the service of the Lord, is to dedicate our activities in the service of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that the whole material existence, everyone in the whole world, this whole material existence is full of miseries. Each and every person is going through problems. Everyone is going through some or other issues. Some people may have financial issues. Some people may have family, relationship issues. Some people may have health issues. Somehow or other, everyone is going through miseries. This world is full of miseries. Tan, man, dhan or sambandh. उसमें से किसी को tan means health issues, man means mind issues, dhan financial issues, sambandh means family or relationship issues. Everyone will be going on. Externally, we see people very smiling, enjoying the life. But if we go closer to someone, in the life. If we go little bit closer, we will find out that what Prabhupada says here, everyone is going through miseries, it will come. This whole world of Facebook, Instagram, the social media where people post their smiling, happy faces and wonderful life, that is all false. That is all external. Internally, everyone has some cause of problem, something or other. And what is the root cause of all this problem? Is this body. As long as the soul, the spiritual soul, has a material body, that is the root cause of the problem. And what are the problems? Prabhupada mentions in the purport that Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, birth, death, old age and disease. No one wants old age, no one wants disease, no one wants death. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. And on top of that, there are other threefold miseries, which is Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik and Adhyatmik. The miseries caused by one's own mind, the miseries caused by natural calamities like earthquake or flood, bushfire, or the miseries caused by other living entities. So because of this soul, or we are all surrounded by this Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik and Adhyatmik, we are all surrounded. So there are a lot of problems. Not only problem definition, but in this verse, the solution is also given. What is the best? If you read the translation, the best remedial measure for removing all troubles and miseries is to dedicate one's activity in the service of the Lord. The best measure is to dedicate our activities. Whatever we are doing, हम जो भी करते हैं, we don't have to change our actions, but just dedicating those actions, we have to just change the consciousness. The conscious needs to be changed. The activity will remain same. I gave the example last week as well. Arjun was a fighter before, Arjun was a fighter later, but the consciousness changed. Before, he was thinking of himself. Now, after hearing message of Bhagavad Gita, he was fighting as the instruction of Krishna. So the consciousness changed, not the actions, only the what's in the mind that changes. So what do we learn from this? Whatever we are doing, our job, our business, our profession, taking care of the family, even going to shopping, that can be Krishna consciousness devotional service, because we are shopping for things. Agar grocery buy karte hain, we will cook something, offer bhoga to the Lord. We are cleaning the house. The house is a temple, because Krishna, we have our own small temple in the house, and we are trying to be a devotee. So the home is also a temple, and cleaning the house, just doing a mop in the house or vacuuming in the house, that becomes a devotional service. Taking care of our family members, because we are nicely trying to progress in bhakti, we are trying to serve Krishna. Taking care of our children, taking care of our parents, our relatives, or everything becomes devotional service. All we have to do is just dedicate our consciousness. Action doesn't need to be changed. Only consciousness, our mind, our thought needs to be changed. Prabhupada writes in the purport here that people doing big businesses, big industrialists, they are so busy and crazy with the work. The whole thing, running a big business, or some people are very busy in the job, very hectic at work. All of that can be a devotional service if a person is doing thinking of Krishna in the mind. And how? Just by dedicating result of our work, by using the money from the business, by using the money from the job in the service of Krishna. Helping Krishna consciousness to progress, helping our own family members, using that money to progress in bhakti, that is all devotional service. And what is mentioned in this verse? It is the best remedial measure for removing all problems. It is the best way to solve all problems. So many problems in this world, just by changing our consciousness, all the problems are solved. What an amazing, such a big problem. What a simple, amazing solution. Just our thought needs to be changed. Cutting vegetable, cleaning house, cooking, taking care of family, dropping child to school. Just dropping child to school. हम गाड़ी चला के जा रहे हैं, we are dropping to the school, but the person will grow up, the child will grow, become a nice devotee, become engineer, a doctor or whatever, but will be a spiritual doctor, spiritual engineer, a devotee child, a devotee university student. Everything becomes devotional service. No action changes are required. Only consciousness needs to be changed. All right, let's move to number 33. Puja Mataji, you have Jai Siya Ram Mataji.
Yes, Jai Shri Krishna. O good soul, does not a thing applied therapeutically cure a disease which was caused by that very same thing? Jai Shri Krishna.
Very good. See here, Prabhupada writes in the purport, this is the secret of spiritual success. In the purport, Prabhupada writes, this is the secret of spiritual success. Same thing which causes the disease. Same thing which causes the disease, if applied therapeutically, it will cure the disease. The thing doesn't change, but the application before it causes the disease, but then it will cure the disease. Two examples are given for our understanding. Milk may cause sometimes indigestion, bowel disorder, problem with the digestion. Milk can cause, but the same milk turned into a curd mixed with some remedial ingredients, and the same thing will help us to have a better digestion, cure the disease of indigestion. The probiotics, yogurt, it is in the market, which helps to digestion. So the same milk which causes indigestion, if applied therapeutically with some remedial ingredients, it can cure the disease of indigestion. So many different examples, even the vaccines, the smallpox vaccine or chickenpox vaccine, they are all the same thing, the same thing which causes the disease, but applied therapeutically as a vaccination with a little bit, it will cure the disease. So the learning point is from this verse is, instead of rejecting all the worldly things, instead of rejecting all our material, the work and business and family and relationship and all the responsibilities, we can use everything in the service of Krishna. And the same thing, the same activities which can be causing the disease, that means which can be entangling to us in this world, but the same activity will be liberating us from this world. That is being mentioned here. What a scientific verse. Very nice. Narad Muni is speaking this thousands of years back to Vyasa. All right, let's move to verse number 34 now. Bimal Prabhu, you have 34.
Hare Krishna. Thus, when all a man's activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, those very activities which caused his perpetual bondage become the destroyer of the tree of work. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you. So here the same theme continues, that when all activities, our activities are dedicated to the service of the Lord, the same activity which causes the bondage will become liberating for us. So the same thing is mentioned. So we know now what to do. What to do is to dedicate our activities. Simple. All these couple of few verses we have discussed. What needs to be done? हमें सिर्फ हमारे जो भी daily routine activities है, we have to offer it to Krishna. We have to done as a service to Krishna. But Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that we know what to do now, but how we can achieve that? क्या करना है पता चल गया, कैसे करना है? We know what to do, but how we can achieve this? So Srila Prabhupada explains in this purport that how we can achieve that? By staying in association of devotees and by taking shelter of a guru. Two things Prabhupada mentions very important in this purport. We have to stay in association of devotees. That's how we will learn how to dedicate. We know to dedicate our activities, but how? By staying in association of devotees. Gradually we will learn by the guidance. And the second thing Prabhupada writes is taking shelter of a guru, taking initiation from a spiritual master who can guide us, who can teach us, who can bless us. By his blessings we would be able to achieve all what this Narad Muni is mentioning about dedicating. Otherwise, we can't whimsically. Okay, I'm going to watch a movie and I will dedicate this watching of movie to Krishna. I'm going to do this shopping. I will spend this money. I will do this. I'm just taking so much work so that I have more money and I will increase my investment portfolio. And I'm doing this as an offering to Krishna. Not whimsically, not fanatically. We have to do in a genuine way. And how we can verify that? When we stay in association of devotees and when we have taken shelter of a bona fide guru, then only it will happen. Srila Prabhupada explains this so nicely in the purport. Number 35. Preeti, you want to read number 35?
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Whatever work is done here in this life for the satisfaction of the mission of the Lord is called bhakti-yoga, or transcendental loving service to the Lord. And what is called knowledge becomes a concomitant factor.
Concomitant factor, that means always accompanied, always attached to fact. So when someone is doing devotional service, concomitant factor means it's the knowledge is always attached, accompanied by this service. So that is what mentioned. So whenever a person does work like this means dedicating to Krishna, dedicate all the work, all the routine activities dedicated to Krishna, that is called bhakti yoga. Narad Muni is mentioning here. When someone is doing dedicating his life for the satisfaction of the Lord, this is called bhakti yoga. The definition of bhakti yoga is given. There are different types of yoga. Prabhupada writes in the purport, there is a karma yoga, dhyana yoga, jnana yoga, ashtanga yoga. There are so many different types of yoga, but bhakti yoga is topmost. Even in Bhagavad Gita, yoginam api sarvesam madgate nantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yoma same yukta tamomata. Krishna says, out of all different types of yogis, the one who is doing bhakti yoga is the topmost. See, Krishna doesn't want us to suffer in this world. Krishna doesn't want, see, all this janma mrityu jara vyadhi, all these threefold miseries caused by natural calamity, miseries caused by our own mind, other living entities. We discussed all these problems. Krishna doesn't want us to suffer. It was our desire to enjoy as well, separately from Krishna. Krishna doesn't want us to suffer, but we want to enjoy separately from Krishna. So such an amazing facility given to us by Krishna that, okay, you live in this world, you do all the activities, but just by performing the activities, you think of me. Do it as an offering to me. And then, even while staying in this world, even while enjoying in this world separately from Krishna, if we just dedicate our activities, we can go back to Krishna. We can reach the spiritual world. Look at this, dear devotees. Krishna is so merciful. Krishna doesn't want us to suffer, but we wanted to enjoy. So Krishna has given us this whole facility of this material world where we can enjoy, we can fulfill our desires. But just by thinking of him, just by dedicating to him all the actions, whatever we are doing, we can still attain perfection. We can still reach to the spiritual world. We can still attain the love of Krishna just by dedicating. That's why it is said bhakti yoga is topmost. So simple. Our consciousness needs to be changed, continue doing work, and we can attain perfection. Krishna has made it so easy for us. Just we have to think of Krishna. Prabhupada mentions many times, always think of Krishna and never forget him. Always think of Krishna and never forget him. And that way we will attain success in the path of bhakti and we will fulfill the human form of life. Thank you so much. All right, let's go. Sharda Mataji, number 36 we are at. Unmute and say, and then mute.
Okay, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. That is it. While performing duties according to the order of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one constantly remembers him his name and his qualities.
Thank you. So while performing duties according to the order of Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what happens when one performs the duties according to the order of Krishna? What happens? We will be able to remember Krishna. We will be able to remember his name. We will be able to remember his qualities. It will be in our mind always his name, his qualities, Krishna himself, because we are doing as a dedication to Krishna. So we have, see again, this Narad Muni is mentioning to Vyasadeva about the glories of bhakti, that you write this glories of devotional service, you write glories of Krishna, and this is how one can achieve success, one can achieve happiness in this world. So we understand here that devotional service needs to be done. We need to dedicate our activities in the service of Krishna. And there are so many devotional service, so many different ways of doing devotional service. सब कुछ भगवान की सेवा के जैसे करना चाहिए. But Prabhupada highlights here what in the purport, we have to do devotional service, but what is the best devotional service? What is the topmost, ultimate, best devotional service out of everything? Okay, we have learned, cooking is also devotional service, cleaning is also devotional service, going to work and giving the result for Krishna is also devotional service. Everything, taking care of a family is devotional service. Sab kuch hai. But what is the topmost? Which is the highest? Prabhupada writes here, preaching to engage others in Krishna consciousness, to tell others about Krishna, to make others understand the message of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. अगर हम किसी को बताते हैं, we connect someone to Krishna, that is the biggest, the topmost devotional service. Why is that? Because everyone is struggling in this world. Everyone have this 4+3 problem, as we discussed. 4 main problems and threefold miseries. Everyone will have to go through this, and to solve all the problems, the only measure is to bring them closer to Krishna. And that's why out of all the devotional service, if we are able to connect someone, if we are able to tell someone that come closer to Krishna somehow or other, sometimes it's by music, sometimes it by food, prasadam, sometimes it could be by dancing, sometimes it could be by knowledge of the Shastra. Anyway, somehow or other, if we connect someone to Krishna, Srila Prabhupada writes, that this is the topmost devotional service. And Krishna wants this. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he demands, the one who preaches this message is most dear to me. Krishna wants all the souls to be connected to him. Srila Prabhupada wants everyone to become Krishna consciousness. Radharani wants everyone to serve Krishna. And all we have to do on our part is just we have to assist Radharani. We have to assist Lord Shri Krishna. We have to become an assistant of Srila Prabhupada and connect somehow or other. In that way, our desires are in sync. Our desire are in sync with Krishna's desire, Srila Prabhupada's desire. And that's how we can connect more and more. Prabhupada writes in this purport that no one can reject good food, good music, and good dance. Happy environment. Our Madhava's Rock Band show next Sunday, we are organizing Madhava's Rock Band show. We have been extensively planning last 6 months. It is based on this purport of Srila Prabhupada. 100% what we are doing, the Madhava's Rock Band show. Some of you are coming 14th of September. In this purport, verse number 36, Prabhupada gives us the guideline. Prabhupada mentions what needs to be done. Some good music, some dancing, some nice food, and people will come. They get attracted to Krishna, Kirtan, nice music, good prasadam, and they are connected with Krishna to bring them closer to Krishna. This is the topmost devotional service. And we have practically, if you come, I request all of you to come on 14 September and you will see that what Prabhupada mentions here, we have put into the application. So much of work goes behind the scene, but you can practically experience that how we are able to follow Srila Prabhupada's instructions here. All right, number 37. Who wants to read? Haruna Mataji?
You definitely read minds too. Text 37. Hare Krishna, everyone. Let us all chant the glories of Vasudeva along with his plenary expansions, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Sankarshna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, so Narada Muni is offering his prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya Dhimahi Pradyumnaya Niruddhaya Namah Sankarshanaya Cha. Narada Muni is offering his prayers here, starting with this Omkara mantra. This is his mantra, which is 33 letters. And our mantra is 16 syllables. In this mantra also, Om Namo Bhagavate Tubhyam Vasudevaya. Krishna is in the center. Our mantra, which is given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Hare Krishna mantra, which is also Radha and Krishna in the center. This mantra, Sankarsana, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, they are like the four plenary expansor and mentioned. But our mantra is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, 16 syllables. We have to, Narad Muni is giving his mantra. We have our own mantra from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, from Srila Prabhupada as well. Number 38, Radhika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thus, he is the actual seer who worships in the form of transcendental sound representation, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who has no material form.
Yes, very important point mentioned here. Very nice. Thus, he is the actual seer who worships in the form of transcendental sound representation. Transcendental sound represent. Why is that? Because our senses are material. We are in this material world, our senses are material, and we are trying to understand Lord who is spiritual. So how can we understand Lord who is spiritual? By our material senses, by sound vibration. So that's why the process is recommended is chanting sound vibration. By sound vibration, we can realize Krishna because we are trying to understand with our senses. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that we experience a person, even though a person is very far, but just by sound vibration, we experience a person. Sometimes we get a call from India or Nepal. A person might be in a different country, other end of the world, but just by talking to them, we experience that person. We feel connected to that person just by sound vibration. Some sound waves are coming to our ears, but we experience connection with that person, even materially. Why not spiritually? This Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, this sound vibration, realizing the Lord, we connect with Krishna. Just like we connect with some or family member from the other side of the world, we connect with Krishna by this sound vibration. And that's why Prabhupada writes in this word, very, very amazing, like an instruction for us. Sankirtan Yajna, to connect with Lord, is more important than any other yajna. In today's world, the fire sacrifice, this yajna, that yajna, austerity, sacrifice, charity, all this is not required. Only Sankirtan Yajna, chanting the glories of the Lord, chanting the Mala, Hare Krishna mantra, that is enough for us to connect with the Lord. We don't need to do any other material means. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Only Hare Nam. Kalaiva nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyatha. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. 3 times it's mentioned in the scriptures. Very important. Let's move to verse number 39. Hetal Mataji. Unmute and say, चले गए अभी तो थे इधर.
No, Prabhuji, I'm here.
Okay.
30 minutes.
मुझे लगा आपने चैंटिंग सुन के चैंटिंग करने चले गए.
No, Prabhuji, I was just going to look at the kids, how they're
बोलो बोलो. Yes.
Okay. Verse number 39.
Yeah.
O Brahmana, thus by the Supreme Lord Krishna, I was endowed first with the transcendental knowledge of the Lord, as inculcated in the confidential part of the Vedas, then with the spiritual opulence, and then with his ultimate loving services.
So Narad Muni is mentioning here that I have personally done this. Glorification of Lord, engage in service. Narad Muni says, I have done this. And what he has achieved? Three things in this translation. Narad Muni mentions that he has personally followed the process, and by following the process, he has achieved three things. One is Gnanam. Gnanam means transcendental knowledge. When someone engages in this process of devotional service, Divya Jnana Hriday Prakashito, the transcendental knowledge appears in the heart. One becomes awakened. Second, Narad Muni mentions is Aishwaryam. Adan me Gnanam Aishwaryam. Aishwaryam means opulences. What kind of opulences? Spiritual opulences, spiritual assets. So Narad Muni says, I have achieved three things. One is Gnanam, which is transcendental knowledge. Second is Aishwaryam, spiritual opulences. And third one is Swasmin Bhavam, Chakeshavha. Swasmin Bhavam means intimate loving service to Krishna. Swa Asmin Bhava, intimate loving service, personal loving service to Krishna. Narad Muni has achieved by following this process. And the last verse of chapter number 5, text number 40, kaun padega? Harshit Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Please therefore describe the Almighty Lord's activity which you have learned by your vast knowledge of the Vedas. For that will satisfy the hankerings of great learned men and at the same time mitigate the miseries of the masses of common people who are always suffering from material pangs. Indeed, there is no other way to get out of such miseries.
Very good. So here Narad Muni gives straight, clear instruction after explaining the importance. Remember how it started? Vyasadeva wanted to help the people, welfare of the people in general, because they lacked the quality of goodness. Kali Yuga was progressing. He compiled the Vedas. He was not satisfied. Then Narad Muni comes and talks about the glories of devotional service and glories of Krishna. So here in this verse, as a summary, as a conclusion, Narad Muni says, therefore, describe the Almighty Lord's activities. Describe clearly the Lord's activities which you have learned by your knowledge. Vyasadeva already knows by the knowledge of the Vedas. Why? Because this is the one that will solve all the problems. This is the most welfare work for everyone. The miseries of this world, of the common people, which will be solved by describing the Lord's glories. When someone hears about Lord's glories, all the problems will be gone. So thus ends the first canto, 5th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we will begin with the 6th chapter. Just by hearing all problems of source, we are hearing every day how much benefits we are getting in half an hour. All right, any couple of points? It will automatically log off. Questions, comments, suggestions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In verse, it is mentioned Aniruddha Pradyumna. Is there any reason that Narad Muni is mentioning those expansions? Verse 37.
Yeah, Prabhupada writes in the purport that they are the expansions. Narad Muni brings Krishna at the center, and they are the Shakti Tattvas, Vishnu Tattva and Shakti Tattva. Everyone, Krishna and his expansions, his energies, all need to be worshipped. So Narad Muni has his own personal prayers, and that's why it is mentioned. Prabhupada writes in the purport, last 4 lines if you read, you will get the summary, that how the expansions, plenary portions, it's too technical for our morning class, so but it's for Narad Muni. Our is Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and we stick to that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Chalo. Thank you so much for joining, dear devotees. Tomorrow we will start 6th chapter. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.